Jai Gurudev, Dr. Mara, I think you're not audible. I think
Sorry,
you have,
I got
yeah,
muted. Oh, okay, okay. I was thinking I was unmuted. I did the prayer and everything. Sorry,
okay.
I didn't notice it. Oh my God. Okay. All right. I did the sloka. I thought since people are joining, I thought I'll read from the beginning. There's one page only, right? She read.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can start, yeah.
Okay. This verse and the next word lifted from the Kathopanishad and put a little differently by Lord Krishna. He did not have quoted an Upanishad since he had the authority to profound the vision in his own way. But he respected the Upanishad because it is a means of knowledge, a pramana grantha. Okay, it's a means of our knowledge, pramana grantha. Therefore, whatever he says should have the sanction of the Upanishad. Krishna does point out elsewhere in the Gita that the Upanishads were his own creation. He says, I am the one to be known through the Vedas. I am the one who initiated these Vedas. Gita 15:15. Thus, throughout the
Yesterday, I think some paragraph was left, no?
mm,
The previous verse, this is 19 shloka?
yeah, this is 19th sloka. It is the one we were reading yesterday, right?
Acha, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Hanya Mane Sharire, right?
Uh,
That
Not
was,
Kanyamane Sharire. This is the one, verse 19. Let me see. This is
one
Yayenam.
paragraph
uh,
was left, I think, what I,
See, yesterday when I was actually I joined later, so they were talking about this Hanana Kriya.
yeah.
Anana Kriya. So that's why I remember Katha Upanishad and all that she was
Yeah,
saying.
so
Mm.
the last heading, I think Belaji was saying that we'll repeat.
I never kill and I am never killed. This is the one she was
Yeah.
going to read.
Yeah.
So she read until this point. So I just started from the beginning to read.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, it's just the
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
page.
Yeah.
So since
Yeah. Yeah.
people as they
Sorry.
join,
Sorry.
no
Yeah.
problem. Yeah. So Gita 15 verse 15 is it's a long one. Sarvasya chaham hriti samnivishto matah smriti jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvairaham eva vedyo vedantakrit vedavid eva cha aham. So abide in the hearts of all. From me arise the remembrance and knowledge of the spiritual verity, as also their effacement. The original teacher of the Vedanta I am, as also knower of the Veda. So this is what is on 15:15. Mystery of all pervading person. That the wish, the glories, right? That chapter. No, this is 15 is the Purushottama, I think. Ah. Anyway, thus throughout the Gita, Krishna always talks as Ishvara. Whether we accept him as Ishvara or not, Krishna talks as though he was. The entire dialogue in the Gita was between Ishvara in the form of Krishna and Arjuna. That is how Vyasa presents it. As Ishvara, Krishna naturally does not need to substantiate his statement. At the same time, however, the Gita has a certain historicity, historicity, in that it came from a given mind, Krishna's mind at a given time. It came from a given mind, Krishna's mind at a given time. When what is heard and received by one generation from another is called Shruti, whereas what is born of someone's mind is called Smriti. What is born of someone's mind is called Smriti. What Krishna says has the status of Smriti, not Shruti. Any Smriti must have the sanction of the Shruti, and if it is against the Smriti is to be looked at again to see whether it has some other meaning that will conform to the Shruti. If it does not conform in all areas from the beginning to the end, then the Smriti has to be dismissed. This being the tradition, Bhagavan in so many words confirms the Shruti. He did not say, "This is what the Shruti says," but he did put the words of the Shruti in a different form here. There are several instances in the Gita where such verses have been lifted from the Upanishads, mainly the Kathopanishad, for the purpose of validating what is being said. Shankara begins his commentary of this verse by saying that Bhagavan presents the next two verses taken from the Kathopanishad to support what he has been saying, meaning that the Shruti is a pramana, that is like a witness. Generally, to validate an event that took place, you have a witness who says, "Yes, I saw that happen." Similarly, to validate what he was saying, Bhagavan needed a witness and called upon one. The Shastra Pramana has the status of a witness here. The Shruti, being a Pramana, is self valid. It does not require any validation by any other Pramana. All that is necessary is that it does, it does not contraindicate any other Pramana. All that is necessary is that it does not contradict any other Pramana. If the Shruti can be contradicted by any other means of knowledge, it ceases to be a pramana. In other words, the Shruti need not be validated by any other pramana for it to be established as pramana. That is why reasoning is required, so that you can prove that it is not contradicted in any way. That's why the reasoning is required, so that you can prove that it is not contradicted in any way. If someone says the Shruti is contradicted by his or her experience, then reasoning is used to show how the person's conclusion regarding the Shruti or one's experience is wrong. By reasoning, then, we show that what the Shruti says is not contradicted by any other means of knowledge and is therefore a pramana. The word enam, enam, okay, the word enam in this verse refers to Atma, which is self evident, which is Sat, the very basis, the truth of all Asat, and which is Nitya and Aprameya, all of which has been stated previously. Yaha refers to the one who looks upon this Atma as the agent of the action of killing, Hanta. Okay, so going back here, Yaha means the one who, okay, correct. Even though the action of killing, Hanana Kriya, does not have the same context in the Kathopanishad as in the Gita, where there was going to be a war, it was nevertheless used in the Upanishads where there was no war at all. To understand the reason for this, the analogy of a world champion wrestler or boxer is helpful. In order to become the world champion, you need not fight against everyone in your particular neighborhood, nor do you need to fight all of humanity. You need only knock out the current world champion. Nothing more is required. Similarly, of all actions that a human being capable of doing, the one that is universally considered to be the most unbecoming is killing. This is why this action is cited here. Hmm. I never kill and I am never killed. With reference to killing, Atma is looked upon in two different ways in this verse. I never kill and I am never killed. With reference to killing, Atma is looked upon in two different ways in this verse. One person may consider the Atma to be the killer, Hanta, and the doer of the action of killing, and another person may consider himself or herself to be the object of the killing. One thinks Atma is the Karta, the doer of the Hanana Kriya, the act of killing, and the other one thinks the Atma is the Karma, the object of the Hanana Kriya. Atma is the karma, the object of the Hanana Kriya, meaning that he or she is subject to destruction. The one who looks upon the Atma as subject to destruction thinks that Atma can be objectified. Krishna says here that both of them do not know the Atma. Ubhav tau na vijanitaha. 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 Okay. So that means they both don't know about Atma. Ubhav tau na vijanitaha. Atma does not perform the act of killing. Again, Atma does not perform the act of killing, nor is it destroyed by anyone else. It is neither a killer nor the object of anyone's killing. Na ayam hanti na hanyate. So, na ayam hanti na hanyate. This means that Atma is neither karta nor karma. Neither the karta nor karma. If Atma can neither kill nor be killed, again the question must be asked, how can one grieve? No one can harm Atma, nor can the Atma harm itself. It's not a karta. Not even Ishvara can destroy the Atma, as Shankara pointed out. In the previous verse, we saw that kartar karma. The kartar karma is the subject object division is not possible for Atma, and this statement is validated in the present verse. So, the subject object division is not possible for Atma, and this statement is validated in the present verse, which is a replica of the Shruti. Atma, therefore, is neither the subject of an action nor the object of an action. The status of doership, kartritva, is imposed upon the Atma, while Atma itself is akarta. Okay, I'll read this line again. The status of doership, kartritva, is imposed upon the Atma, while Atma itself is akarta. Some insight can be gained here by looking at the meaning of the word sarva karma sannyasa. In fact, there are two types of sannyasa. Sannyasa as a lifestyle and Sarva Karma Sannyasa. So two types of sannyasa. One is sannyasa and the other one is sarva karma sannyasa. Karma sannyasa is present in both types of sannyasa. When sannyasa is taken as a lifestyle, all obligatory duties, including religious duties, are given up by performing a certain ritual. This ritual is the last ritual a sannyasi performs, one that absolves him or her from those rituals and duties that are enjoined by the Vedas. This is karma sannyasa, renunciation of all enjoined karma. The karma sannyasa is the renunciation of all enjoined karma. But this karma sannyasa does not remove the doership, the kartritva in you. So, the karma sannyasa does not remove the doership, is the kartritva in you. Sarva karma sannyasa is knowing the Atma, the I, Aham, as free from action. The knowledge that I perform no action, aham na kinchit karomi. Aham na kinchit karomi. I am not a doer. Aham na karta. Frees me from all actions. This freedom is called sannyasa here. So we have to know the difference between the sannyasa and the sarva karma sannyasa. So karma sannyasa is where you renunciate all your enjoyed karma, but you still have the doership. Whereas sannyasa, you are not the doer. I am not doer, aham na karta. That freedom is called sannyasa here. Okay. Anyone wants anything to be read again? So far clear. I am not killed, neither killed nor I never kill, I am never killed. So we read about what Atma is, and then we also read about how Shruti backs up this statement and sannyasa and karma sannyasa, sarva karma sannyasa. And I am not the doer. I am not the doer. Later we will see in the Gita that a person who by knowledge gives up all karmas. Later we'll see in the Gita that a person who by knowledge gives up all karmas knows full well that aham, the Atma, does not perform any action. Na karma karoti. Na karma karoti. The doership that one has can be with reference to either the enlightened doer. The doership that one has can be with reference to either an enlightened doer or an unenlightened doer. An enlightened doer is one who knows I am not the karta, even though he or she still performs actions. So the enlightened doer, he knows that he is not a performer, he is not a karta. Even though he or she still performs actions. This is not to say that there is no doer, there is a doer, but its reality with reference to me is negated. Who is me here is that Atma. Hmm? No, the body, I think, the body mind. But its reality with reference to me is negated. So the body mind complex is not I. No one can perform an action without a sense of doership. No one can perform an action without sense of a doership. Everyone has to recognize that I perform this action. Even to speak, one has to identify with the body and the organ of speech, and thus there is a karta. There is a subject and an action done, a talker, and the act of talking, for instance. Whether it is Krishna talking, Vyasa writing, Shankara commenting, or any enlightened person doing anything, there is definitely a karta. But it is an enlightened karta, meaning that the person does not look upon himself or herself as the karta. The Atma is no longer mistaken to be the karta. Thus, there is an enlightened ahankara and an unenlightened ahankara. so, so when you recognize yourself as a karta, that involves this ahankara. Thus, there is an enlightened ahankara and an unenlightened ahankara. Enlightened ahankara says that I am not the karta. Unlightened ahankaras will say that I am the one doing everything. The hankara is not something to be afraid of. All that we are aiming at is the removal of the ignorance, which makes the Atma a karta, a doer. The ignorance which makes the Atma a karta, a doer. The Atma is free from all action, and this is not known by one who looks upon the Atma as the karta. So, Atma is free from all action. I'll read that again. And this is not known by one who looks upon the Atma as the karta. The one who thinks, I subject myself to the influence of the world, or the world is too much with me, does not know the Atma. The world is not too much with you, the world is you, and you are free from the world. The world is not too much with you, the world is you, and you are free from the world. That I am the basis, the Sat, the whole creation, and at the same time, I am free from everything, is something that I must understand. It is this jnana, therefore, that is taught in the Gita, the essence of which appears in the next verse. So the next verse is the one. So Dr. Savita, you're saying that nahanyate nahanyamane sarire, that one is coming next. So I know hit it fast here. So anything you guys want me to read again? I'm not the doer. I am not the doer. The enlightened person, enlightened ahankara and the unenlightened ahankara. It's nice. Nicely Swamiji written that one.
You can read this uh, last heading.
Last heading, you want me to repeat it? Okay.
Yeah, this I
Okay.
am not the doer.
I am not the doer, right? I know it really embedded in our head. It'd be nice to read it again. I am not the doer. Like the example, like as we are reading and talking, even that, I had to say, I am not doing this, understanding it, right? I am not the doer. Later, we will see in the Gita that a person who, by knowledge, gives up all karmas knows full well that aham, the Atma, does not perform any action. Aham, the Atma, does not perform any action. Na karma karoti. Aham Atma. The doership that one has can be with reference to either an enlightened doer or an unenlightened doer. An enlightened doer is the one who knows I am not the karta, even though he or she still performs actions. This is not to say there is no doer. There is a doer, but its reality with reference to me is negated. No one can perform an action without a sense of doership. Everyone has to recognize that I perform this action. Even to speak, one has to identify with the body and the organ of speech. Thus, there is a karta. There is a subject and action, an action done, a talker and the act of talking, for instance. Whether it is Krishna talking, Vyasa writing, Shankara commenting, or any enlightened person doing anything, there is definitely a karta. But it is an it is an enlightened karta, meaning that the person does not look upon himself or herself as the karta. The Atma is no longer mistaken to be the karta. So, this is the sentence we have to remember. The Atma is no longer mistaken to be the karta. Thus, there is an enlightened ahankara and an unenlightened ahankara. The ahankara is not something to be afraid of. All that we are aiming at is the removal of the ignorance, which makes the Atma a karta, a doer. The Atma is free from all action, and this is not known by one who looks upon the Atma as the karta. The one who thinks, I subject myself to the influence of the world, I subject myself to the influence of the world, or the world is too much with me, does not know the Atma. The world is not too much with you. The world is you, and you are free from the world. And that I am the basis, the Sat of the whole creation. At the same time, I am free from everything, is something that I must understand. So I'll read this line again, that I am the basis, the Sat of the whole creation. At the same time, I am free from everything, is something that I must understand. This is this jnana, therefore, that is taught in the Gita, the essence of which appears in the next verse. So, this all that knowledge about Atma is given here. So, how do we interpret this, the whole thing? I am not the doer. The first thing we have to understand what Atma is and why we think Atma is not doer. How you differentiate between the enlightened, the ahankara and unenlightened ahankara. So the here says everybody, even the jnanis who are sannyasi who perform action, but the difference is they perform action, but they negate that because the body mind complex, whatever it's doing, it get negated. I am not doing this. So that Atma becomes a non-doer. So that's the main thing that we understood. So, but people who don't understand that is like seeing that world as is you, like all the things that belongs to you and everything they dwell on it. And even though they don't recognize that as an illusion or mithya or impermanent, not real, you can say any of those things. And they get caught up in this world and not realizing, then they keep saying, I'm the one doing everything. Then they think Atma is the doer. And that causes more suffering. Anyway, so we read about never killed, not killed. So it's not, Atma is not a subject or object to be, to kill or to be killed. I talked about this yesterday a little bit. So there's a difference between the Shruti and Smriti. Smriti comes from one's mind, but that has the basis from the Shruti. So that is a pramana. So you cannot not contradict the Shruti. So he took all this information that from Kathopanishad. Please share your ideas. I don't know whatever I got, I mentioned.
Ahankara Vimudatma Kartaham iti manyate. It thinks that it's doing everything.
Mm.
Atma is only a witness, but nature is Prakriti Kriyamanani. Nature is performing everything.
Mm-hmm.
We are only an instrument.
Yeah. So, yeah, right. We are we are not the doer means like how are you going to say that that's a part to really this that Nirvana Satakam, right? Now I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, I'm not this because that Viveka, right? What is real and the Sat and Asat or real and unreal, that kind of helps. Yeah, that's nice.
Also, Gurudev says things are happening, here. See, our breath is happening, everything is happening. We are
Mm-hmm.
not doers, inside,
Exactly. Yeah.
inside our body also digestion is happening, and then, everything is happening. We don't,
Yeah. Yeah. Like when you say even we plant one seed or something, right?
yeah,
We're going to say, oh, I would only grew this plant. How are you going to say that, right?
I,
But the seed itself has all that
we are,
knowledge in
the
there,
seed
all
has
that information in there. It
a
has to come in certain time, and
right.
certain time the leaf comes, certain times
Yes,
the flower comes.
the
All that happens in a timely fashion, right?
yeah, yeah. The tree,
Yeah,
the seed has a tree within.
yeah.
Many
So
trees,
they,
forest within. The tree has a forest within.
yeah. So that we are not owning any of these things, right? So it's that understanding we have to have that.
In the time and space, the
Yeah,
Prakriti propels us as if we are doing it.
yeah,
Nature is performing everything. But this Ahankara Vimudatma thinks he's the doer.
yeah. So that the ignorance, right? So that this I part comes because we are not recognizing that Atma, that jnana. So this is where that jnana comes in, and we recognize. that as we recognize more and more that it helps.
Atma is only witness here.
Yeah.
Things are all sceneries, things are happening scenery.
Yeah. And also this how nicely they explained about the karma sannyasa and the sarva karma sannyasa and the sannyasa part. So sannyasa who completely give up that kartritva bhavana. So he is not, he says, I am not doer. Whereas the karma sannyasa, he
He's
doesn't
the
do it. Yeah, he has that kartritva, but then again, uh, that you're doing it for your that duty to be done, but not expecting the result. That result you give it to you doing it what has to be done and surrender to the God or Lord or whatever and the nature. And the result of the action, whatever comes, you take it as prasada buddhi, I think. Is that what that karma sannyasa is? I remember that karma yoga. Yeah, karma yoga. Sorry. Karma yoga, karma sannyasa. I'd have to look it up again. Or Dr. Brahmara can explain that better, I think.
Karma sannyasa, sarva karma sannyasa. Sarva karma sannyasa, I think that is karma yoga. That prasada buddhi.
Yeah, the one I said was karma yoga. Sorry, yeah.
And this
That's why I got confused. The sannyasa itself, two types. One is complete sannyasa, and the other one is sarva karma sannyasa.
sarva sankalpa sannyasa.
Mm. But it says it doesn't remove the doership in you.
In karma sannyasa, it doesn't remove the doership. But in sarva karma sannyasa, there is no doership. He knows I am aham, I am atma. Then there will be a freedom. So there is no doership at all.
Sarvkarm sannyasa would be enlightened soul, like he is living that life. Whereas the karm sannyasa, he's still on that path of the karma yoga, and he's still evolving. So he is doing all the actions which are necessary to uplift him or to evolve himself. So he still have that kartritva,
The
this thing.
bhavana. Okay, so then sannyasa, sarva karma sannyasa, and karma sannyasa. I know. When we do the next chapter, another chapter where they explain a lot in the karma yoga, I think it would
Now
come.
you have used three words, sannyasa, karma sannyasa, and sarva karma sannyasa. So can you elaborate again three definitions of that?
Well,
Comparative.
okay, let me read this part here. Okay, in fact, there are two types of sannyasa.
Hmm.
Sannyasa is a lifestyle.
Hmm.
Sannyasa is a lifestyle, and sarva karma sannyasa. Some insight can be gained in the meaning of the word sarva karma sannyasa. So that's what this is. Okay. Karma sannyasa is present in both types of sannyasa. When sannyasa is taken as a lifestyle, all obligatory duties, including
Religious duties.
religious duties, are given up by performing a certain ritual. So karma sannyasa present in both types of sannyasa, meaning when sannyas is taken as a lifestyle, all obligatory duties, religious duties are given up by certain ritual. This ritual is the last ritual a sannyasi performs, one that absolves him or her from those rituals and duties that are enjoined by the Vedas. So, whatever, remember, we read about those Veda enjoined in Sadhana Panchakam, I think we read that part, right? What are the karma that we are supposed to do on given day as a karma yogi, I think. This is the karma sannyasa.
That is nitya karmas. Hmm.
The karma sannyasa is the renunciation of all enjoined karma. Okay, so you renunciate all enjoined karma. So this is that karma sannyasa. But this karma sannyasa does not remove the doership, the kartrutva in you. Sarva karma sannyasa is knowing the Atma, the I aham is free from action. The knowledge that I perform no action, aham na kinchit karomi, I am not a doer, aham na karta, frees me from all actions. This freedom is called sannyasa here. So that's a sarva karma sannyasa, and sannyasa is almost synonymous, looks like. Whereas the karma sannyasa is where that even though you renunciate all enjoined karma, you still have the doership bhavana in you. It doesn't remove that. That's what this particular one paragraph says. I don't know, anybody can shed some light on it.
Dharma sannyasa is present in both, no? So either it is sarv karm sannyasa or it is karm sannyasa.
Exactly. Yeah.
Karm sannyasa is present in both. So, and a person who is just having the karm sannyasa, he is not reached that sarv karm sannyasa stage.
Right.
He will be having that doership kartritva bhavna because he is still not reached that end point. Though he is living his life in that way that he is performing all his obligatory duties, religious duties, everything. And
The
he has
reason, go ahead.
and he has also, like the people who take sannyas, they do their own rites, so that they leave, for them they leave that past, the belongingness of their parents, everything. And there's when they leave that past, they begin their life as a new life. And so there's a ritual that they shed their clothes also, that is symbolic of that. As you are newborn, you don't have clothes on yourself, right? So you drop those clothes also, and then it is the starting of the new life. So the people who are taking sannyasa, they are doing they'll be doing their duties, and they did their last ritual also, and they are on this path to reach that moksha, right? So this is karm sannyasa, and they are having that kartritva bhavna because they have still not have evolved to that to that last stage of the that
Yeah, some
yeah.
like it's attached to self, right?
Yeah.
They're not
Whereas it,
unattached with the self,
yeah,
with the karma sannyasa. That's the reason that kartrutva is there, even though they renunciate all the karma that they're doing.
yeah, they have not fully they have not fully evolved. They are still on the path. So though they have taken sannyasa, that is karm sannyasa. So they are still doing. Whereas a person who has reached that Sarv Karm Sannyasa, he has gained that knowledge of the Atma.
Mm.
That
And
I
aham.
and the small I and the big I
Mm.
has merged. So they live in that consciousness that I am Brahman, basically. So that Sarv Karm Sannyasa knows that I am that Brahman, and he's free from any action. He performs no action, and he says no. I am not aham na karta, aham na kinchit karumi, and he's free from all. So, though he is also in that state, sannyasa state, but
But they
he
do
is
perform all
not.
the action. Yeah,
Yeah, he's free from action.
Mm.
He's not in the doership because he has now gained that knowledge that I am Brahman. Yeah, I am in the Atma. Like I am basically in that stage. There's no difference
I am the
between the
creation.
Brahman and the Atma. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, right. Anyone else, please? We have few more minutes.
Jai Gurudev. So
Yeah.
it is only a karta. When there is kartritva, there is also bhoktritva. That is doership and enjoyership are linked. So in Karma Yoga, what we are taught is drop the results of act. In the sense, you are not affected by the results of action. So whatever the result, you're taking it as prasada. So you're that enjoyership, you're coming from the other side, the other end. You're dropping that enjoyership, and therefore you also drop the doership. Although for a karma yogi, there is still that little bit of, without that ego, you cannot actually perform any action. Even that act of offering it as yajna, who is the one offering it? So there is a trace of doership there. Whereas in sarva karma sannyasa, the whole thing is it's coming out of that viveka that you are not the doer. It is not the Atma within is not the doer, or the Atma that is all has no action. Atma is limitless. So, in that limitless space, limitlessness, how can there be any action? There cannot be an actor, there cannot be an action,
Nor an enjoyer also.
nor a bhoktra, nor the enjoyer. So, it is coming from Viveka. The Sarva Karma Sannyasa is out complete with Atma Vichara, Atma Viveka, and it is from like when Krishna is talking and Vyasa is uh, giving out the Mahabharata and dictating it to Ganesha, and he's writing it out. They're all doing, but that act of doing is an apparent action. Actually, they're not doing anything.
And the action maybe what is required that time they are doing
Exactly. It is
Yeah,
in
the action
that
that they
for
rasa.
the benefit of others also. Yeah.
others, yeah, exactly. The sannyasa, that's the main thing. They are not doing it for themselves, and they're doing
Exactly.
it for
So
others.
in this creation, in this
Benefit.
transactional world, in the creation, whatever is required, that machine and that nut and the bolt and the piston, so they're just doing their role. That's it. Recognizing your swakarma, you're recognizing that and you're doing it out of a sense of non-doership.
So, Dr. Brahmara, I know we were discussing earlier, I probably heard that karma yoga versus karma sannyasa. Is it similar or the wording in terms of that? Or that is,
Karma yoga versus karma sannyasa. Is it, you mean sannyasa versus karma sannyasa, right?
yeah, that's
It
so
is
in sannyasa itself, two sannyasi, right? And one
correct.
is the sarva karma sannyasi or sannyasi is the same. Sannyas, freedom is called sannyasa here. That means sarva karma sannyasa.
Yeah.
But the
Sar-
karma sannyasa is where they have that doership.
Correct. Karma sannyasa is where they just don those ochre robes and they've still not realized themselves. They've not realized that Aham Brahmasmi stage has not come. They're still work in progress. So they still have that Kartritva Bhavana, but they have relinquished all their
Enjoy.
enjoined duties and
Mm,
all those
mm.
rituals and all that. They're free from that.
Okay.
Whereas a
So,
Sarva Karma Sannyasa is one who is out of knowledge. Jnanena Sarva Karma Sannyasa.
okay, got it. So that
So,
means our karma yogi is different from this karma sannyasa
correct.
and the sarva karma sannyasa.
No, a Karma Yogi can be Sarva Karma Sannyasi also. When he realizes,
Mm.
see, Jnanena, once that Jnana
One
dawns,
yeah, when the jnana is there.
so even a Grihastha
Mm.
can be a Sarva Karma Sannyasi.
Sannyasa.
Isn't it?
Okay, okay. Right, yeah.
Isn't it? It's a state of mind where
Mm-hmm.
you're completely from that doership.
Mm.
So you don't need to be a sannyasi in order to become a sarvakarma sannyasa.
Okay. But both sannyasis, they do that kind of ritual to uh, what they call as they are free from all the obligatory
I
duties.
think that is only for the ashrama, sannyas ashrama,
Sannyasas.
when
Okay.
they go through that procedure and that protocol.
Mm.
One thing that Dr. Savita said was very nice, that they are like newborn into another ashrama. But another
Mm.
thing is, see,
Mm.
body image is something that we're all holding on to very strongly,
Right.
right? So
Mm.
getting rid of that body image,
Mm.
getting rid of that deha bhava, they ask them to, derobe themselves completely and
Mm.
actually walk, take a dip in the river and walk to the guru who is sitting a
Oh.
little away from on the banks. So
Oh.
dropping that body image,
Oh, okay. Okay. Got it. Mm.
because even they shave off their head. See, Shankaracharya, he
Mm.
did not. They hair is another thing that we think we're all, most
Mhm.
of us are
Mm.
very dear and
Right.
hold on to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that is why the act of tonsuring their head. So even
Mm.
that hair is given up, and
Given up.
so
Yeah.
basically all that you hold on dearly, this is my body, my this, my
Mm-hmm.
hair, my beauty. My beauty depends on my on the hair, on
Mm-hmm.
the clothes I wear.
Mm.
So
Mm.
all that is dropped.
It's like a crown. Mm.
And also, finally, they perform their own shrad, the process.
Correct.
Mm.
Right.
Brahmanaji, yesterday you have shared that Instagram clip, no? That is also very good. When the बाल उलझ जाते हैं तो कंघी करनी पड़ती है, जैसे बड़े बच्चे हो जाते हैं तो ज्ञान से उनकी कंघी करनी पड़ती है.
Mm,
And so it's raining. Do you require anything to do? It's just happening like
mm,
that. No, so much connected things happening.
correct.
Thank you.
Nice.
Can
Nice that
you
you connected it.
Hmm.
read this verse, then verse number 20, just for the sake of it? And tomorrow I'll try to do it. I'll read it tomorrow, but I just wanted to know how to chant this verse, if you don't mind, Dr. Brahma.
Yeah. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. The tune actually changes a little bit because the chandas has changed a little.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
Kadachit is, he said, right?
kadachit.
Okay. All right. So anyway, sorry that I interrupted, but because of the time, I don't know anyone want to say anything, and we can move
I
forward.
just wanted to like the
Mhm.
enlightened karta and the unenlightened karta, ahankara,
Mhm. Mhm.
basically.
Yeah, that one also goes along with that sannyasa part, I think. Right? Enlightened
Yeah,
ahankara is a sarva karma sannyasa.
yeah. So, and ahankara is not something to be afraid of.
Yeah. Without it, we may not function as much,
Yes.
but then it shouldn't be like dominating too much. I am the one
Yeah,
doing
it
everything.
should not have the ahankara should
Correct.
not be such that you have that feeling of doership, that
Mm.
I is to be subdued, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But
See,
it
every
to,
time we are affected by the results of our action,
Mm.
the small I is working.
Mm.
The moment you are centered, irrespective of the result of the action,
Mm.
then you are freer, that much freer from that small I.
Okay, yeah.
Either very elated because what you wanted happened, or
Mm.
depressed because what you wanted did not happen. You are either ways you are very centered. What are you
Mm.
doing? You're dropping the bhoktrutva, right? You're dropping that enjoyership or
Mm.
sufferership, whichever.
Yeah.
So the our realization should be, our awareness should be, whenever we are miserable, it's because the small I is is showing up its hood. So that awareness we should have. That's all. No need to be worried and scared. And ego is part of us. Some people say, "Oh, ego is not good. It's not good." No, it's not like a concept. It's more out of understanding.
Yeah.
So,
In the same clip, Brahmaraji, it is said, "Balpan banaye rakho," means bacha.
mm,
They don't get bothered with such, no. They don't
yeah,
keep it holding on it.
yeah.
Mm.
Yesterday I know it's time up, but
Mm.
yesterday I had a little special needs child who came.
Mm.
He had a nice big bite on his cheek. His
Mm.
other special needs child, his classmate, actually very fond of each other. That girl, she actually, when they were playing, suddenly they get some sensory, they have some sensory issues. So she actually bit his cheek so hard that it was like a nice big, impression on his cheek,
Bite mark. Huh.
like a mark.
Mm.
And then the next moment they're playing.
Yeah, they forget about it.
Next moment they're playing. But now the parents are like, the parents, of course, of the victim, of the child who was bitten, were saying, no, please keep them separated. But they're actually the best of friends, apparently, in the class.
Mm.
So that's how a child is. A child is, they are in the moment, they do not hold on to anything, they just do spontaneously. That's why Gurudev keeps saying, I'm a child who
Mm.
refuses to grow up. While you have this wisdom, but keeping the innocence of a child,
Mm.
that is the mark of a enlightened master. It's not like, oh, I know everything. Then again, what is the use? I mean, the ego is showing up again. Yeah, please go ahead. You can conclude, maybe.
Mm. लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Krishna Arpanastu. Om Tat Sat. So, I don't know. I have that video to place. 1 second. I have to see.
I'll play the
You'll
meditation.
play it?
Yeah, I'll play.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
Meditation is accepting this moment, living every moment totally with depth. Let us keep our spine erect and body relaxed and eyes closed. Relax your shoulders. Keep a big smile on your face. You're sitting like the statue of Buddha, very serene and with a serene smile on your face. Relax your body. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your chest region, throat and chest region. If you notice some tension in the body, just let it be. Except those parts of the body where you feel a tension, the other parts are in comfort. Other parts are at peace. Become aware of that also. There are many good things about you and inside of you. Acknowledge them. They will never leave you. And the negative aspect you may see in you is never going to stay with you forever. They are all guests for some time. Let them be. Sit with the total acceptance of yourself the way you are at this very moment. Total acceptance of what is now here will lead us to deeper meditation. Let go of all the effort. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let go of all your effort and be in this emptiness. And slowly and gradually become aware of body and surroundings. And you may gently open your eyes.